And Kelly, I wonder too about the conversations, with our kids when we talk about things like gun safety, if you have a gun in your house, and
Sure.
also really surrounding bullying as well, as you hear that, starting to emerge today.
Absolutely. I'll tell you that my husband and I own several guns. We have antique guns that have been passed down from generations in our home, and we have a gun safe that's locked, and our kids know where it is, and they know that they can't get to it. And the second part of that is our kids also know that if they have a mental health issue, if they're feeling unsafe, that they can come and talk to us before they take action on something that they can't get back. And so I think that there's a really twofold issue here, one of which is access to the firearm, and the second is access to mental health care, right? And those two things really failed in this area. I can tell you, my when my stepdad had Alzheimer's, he had his driver's license taken away. He wasn't able to drive anymore because he was going to hurt someone. And similarly, if someone is suicidal or homicidal, they should not have access to a firearm. It's not about having access to the firearm. It's about having access to someone that can hurt another human being because you're not feeling safe enough to make a best decision for yourself. And so I think that conversation really needs to happen with our kids, that you don't have to do something with your emotions. You can process them and talk about them. You don't have to take them out as behavior on other people. There are many other ways to deal with it. And this really comes down to a mental health issue. I read some comments about, putting more police officers in schools, and that sounds great. But when we're cutting things like mental health in schools, I'm not quite sure how schools would afford even more, police officers in their schools. And so the problem really is, how did this 18-year-old, it's not how did he get a gun, because he's allowed to go get a gun, right? He's 18 years old. If he wants to, go shoot something in terms of hunting and things like that, that's fine. But the fact of the matter is, if he had a mental health history and was still able to obtain that firearm, it's the same thing as someone with Alzheimer's getting behind the wheel. They're going to hurt someone.